Did this 2009 movie predict the 2025 financial crisis? The International is like if you mixed James Bond and The Big Short, a political thriller to get you hot under the white collar. Crime, that is. What's a movie that had you walking out of the theater angry because of the topic matter? This Clive Owen detective flick was dumped in February and largely forgotten about. The promotion really leaned on you knowing that he was in Children of Men, but the actual film is closer to Spotlight with sniper rifles. I was actually surprised at how little the plot leaned on technology to tell its story. A modern version of this would have given the protagonist schizophrenia with all the AI and things that could have faked him out. I'm Seth, and it's day 41 of the Ticket Stub Movie Club. Today's movie, The International, Internationia, as it says on my ticket stub. This one's directed by Tom Tykwer and stars Clive Owen and Naomi Watts. Oddly enough, yesterday's movie was Pink Panther 2, and the first Pink Panther had Clive Owen in it, also playing an international detective. As a teen, this movie largely flew over my head. I was here for the action stuff. I had just seen Clive Owen and Shoot 'em Up, so I wanted more of that. I recall enjoying this one, but it flew over my head, and that kind of made me feel dumb, so I knew it was one I was going to have to revisit. Watching this one in my 30s, I can firmly say now, yes, I really like this movie. The internal truths about the immorality of our banking system across the world is on display here. Hating companies that profit off of war and death is integral to my personal politics as an adult. Machetes and guillotines for all these motherfuckers. But on top of the realism that it aims for in talking about geopolitics, it also aims for that realism within the action, and I like the interplay between the two. These are the kind of plots that I would be thinking of if I was bored in a museum as a teenager, and so to see this played out within those museums was cool for a teen, but as an adult I see the deep meaning behind setting scenes of shootouts and death within museums dedicated to those ideas. Much in the same way that people definitely profited off of World War II, people profit off of wars now. Entire conversations within this movie were totally lost on me, especially when they talked about the meanings behind owning debt and how debt is so important to the ultra rich of our world. It's funny to me that here in 2025 we can point to someone like Elon Musk as one of the richest men ever, and yet most of his riches are made up of fakeness and debt and things that have no tangible reality behind them. He's gone as far as profiteering off of the death of our own world, making electric cars with lithium batteries earned through slavery. And here back in 2009, this movie wants to shine a light on that in an entertaining blockbuster kind of way. Maybe that's why it never took its place within our cinema mindset. It was aiming to be entertaining and educational, and it was doing it at the risk of shining a light on people who don't want us to know that this is how they operate our world. I'm personally much less interested in the immorality of an assassin taking out a political pundit as I am with someone that would turn that into ultra profit. The death of one versus the death of many. You can measure these things. Honestly, the most unbelievable part about this movie is that our protagonist is a good-hearted cop that can actually do anything about this. The rest of it is basically how our world works verbatim. There's flashier filmmaking. I know that a lot of these shootouts were difficult to create. They had to make an entire new set just to be able to pull off a museum shootout of this nature without actually interrupting the real Guggenheim. And I like that this movie opts for that instead of opting for ultra star power. We only have two real big names in this. Naomi Watts was just in King Kong that we talked about within this series. This is kind of Clive Owen's big action era, like I mentioned with Children of Men and Shoot 'em Up. He's got a lot of movies coming out at this time where he's the guy behind the gun, but this one actually has a brain and something to say versus a Shoot 'em Up, which is basically gory Bugs Bunny goes to war against the mob. I like that range. I like this presentation. I like that a lot of the other actors within this are character actors you might recognize from different TV shows here and there, but they're not big names, so there's nothing to distract from the internal story trying to be told here. Other people might see that as a detriment. Maybe they should have packed this out with more stars to get more people with their eyeballs on it. I don't know if that would have ever made it really stick in our craw in the way that I would have liked it to, because it's so personally interesting to me. But again, this is my movie review journal series, so you're getting not only my critique, but the reasons that I personally really like a story like this. Our next movie is Zack Snyder's Watchmen. Let's see how that one holds up after 16 years. It's not well. I'll see you tomorrow.